What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Progressive Action TV show. I am your host, Tramel Thompson. I know that you guys didn't see me in a little minute. I've been under the weather, battling a very, very horrible cold. I don't know what that's going on out here, but I'm back. Not 100%, but I'm back, and we got some things to talk about. Um, First and foremost, man, thanks for running up the numbers on those shows. Thanks for sharing out the show. Thanks for increasing those subscribers. We've been talking about a lot, and you guys have obviously been enjoying what we've been talking about. Now, as you can see, the phone lines are open this afternoon. You want to know what? This is another thing. I rarely go live in the afternoon. I rarely do a show in the afternoon. So I'm testing out different things. Nighttime, I'm going to do something in the morning. I'm going to do the afternoon. I'm trying to figure out what works, where you guys tune in the most. But for right now, we are here in the afternoon. And as you can see, the phone lines are open, 563-999-3714. I definitely like to hear what you guys have to say. Also, if you want to donate to the channel, you could donate via Cash App. That's $ Progressive Action 100. Now, the first thing, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of things this afternoon. We're going to talk about a whole bunch of things. Just make sure y'all share out the show right now. Like the show right now. I don't care which platform you're watching on. Just make sure that you share it right now, right? So the first topic I would like to talk about is there was a success in Albany this week because of something we did last week and the weeks prior. Minor consent bill, Albany, New York, withdrawn from the Senate. Now, I know you guys are saying, Tramel, what is the minor consent bill? What is this about? Why are we talking about this? And today, I got my friend, Michael Kane, with me today to talk about the minor consent bill, the importance of it, because there's a lot of things that go on in Albany that you guys are not aware of.
Right.
And it's people like us who's aware of these things that's going on, and we up there fighting. But I would like to introduce you guys to Michael Kane. Mike, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing good, Tramel. Thanks so much for having me on. It was great to go up to Albany, and I haven't seen you in over a year. And just being up in Albany and you coming up to fight for medical freedom with me and the crew, it reminded me of 2021 uh, when when you were on the front lines of the medical freedom battle. So yeah, thanks for having me.
See, a lot of people don't know it was you that actually got me involved with all this medical freedom stuff, and even up to where I'm at today, man. I'm sorry. I would like to thank you, Mike.
Well, yeah, I mean, and I've often said this. We were planning a big rally against the vaccine mandate that fired workers like me. I was a teacher. I got fired because I didn't get the shot. And Garrett Ramirez on the Teachers for Choice steering committee, he said to me, "Hey, did you reach out to Tramel Thompson?" I'm like, "Who's that?" He's like, he's an outspoken labor leader, local 100. I bet he'll come and speak." And I was like, "All right, I'll try it out." And you were the first person to say yes. We got like 3,000 people at City Hall, August 2021. It was a great way to first link up, and we've had many a rally and many a battle together in many forms since then.
So tell the people what the minor consent bill is about, basically.
So, the minor consent bill was first introduced into the assembly by Assemblywoman Corinnes Reyes in the Bronx. This would allow any minor of any age, there's no bottom to the age limit, to consent to any medical procedure. That means surgery, vaccination, psychotropic medication, dental work, anything without parental knowledge or consent. And they lied and said this would only impact runaway youth. But that's not true. When you read the bill, it actually impacts all youth. So we went up to Albany. We got hundreds of people there. Tramel Thompson was a featured speaker there. He spoke directly to this bill. It's a great speech that he gave, rallied up the people. And then Tramel came with me into the offices of Gustavo Rivera, who is the senator that heads the health committee. And we met with his health committee director, Tony, I forget his last name, but thank you, Tony, for sitting down with us. We met, we laid out all of our issues with this. Other people met with other lawmakers. We had a big impact. We had people from all across New York State, from Buffalo, Rochester, Albany, Columbia County, Suffolk County, New York City, everywhere. 2 days after we were there, the Senate version of this bill got pulled by Senator Rachel May. She has stricken it from the record. That means it does not exist. So obviously, it was no coincidence this happened 2 days after we were there. It was our voice and our pressure and our education of the lawmakers, telling them what was going on. It's also that an election is coming up. And I don't think, listen, we rallied in the Bronx in front of Assemblywoman Reyes's office. We handed out hundreds and hundreds, actually a few thousand flyers. We talked to everybody that was up there in the Bronx. Not one person thought this was a good idea. Nobody. It didn't matter if they were Democrat, Republican, Black, Hispanic, white. Nobody liked this idea. This is something they want to hide in the corners where no one is watching and try to pass for their big pharma buddies and get paid off by lobbyists. And we're just saying we're not having that. We're shining a light on it. And just shout out to everybody who came up and helped fight with that. And shout out to you, Tramel, for being there and lending your voice to this issue. You had a lot of great points to make, and you were a part of this victory with us for sure.
I definitely thank you for including me into this. And this is my first time actually going into a politician office in Albany and actually bringing the heat to them the way that we did. And to see you go into another type of Michael Caine, to see John Gilmore, to see Mary Holland say, listen, this is not gonna work out for y'all. We're gonna sue y'all. And the I believe there was another woman from the Bronx who was in that assembly person district. She was phenomenal. It was just a good group of people. And I wish we could have recorded that so it could be an example of this is what you do when you go into these people offices and you do not agree with what they saying or what the bill may be and things of that nature. Because he was even the guy that was sitting there with us, he was playing the game and he was being weird, which I didn't. It was real strange. And these people in Albany, they are strange. They some strange people. Some of them are some strange people. And there was also another assemblywoman there who came outside to speak with us.
Yes. Oh, that was big. So, Democrat Assemblywoman Jamie Williams from Brooklyn came out, spoke in support of fired workers who were fired for not getting the COVID shot, teachers, firefighters, cops, medical professionals, sanitation workers. And she's sponsoring a bill that would bring back all the fired workers to their original position, to their original seniority. And that's a really big deal because we have not really had Democrat politicians come out and speak up for us and speak in our favor on these issues. So, and Albany is controlled entirely by Democrats right now. They have a super majority. So you need Democrat support in order to get things passed. So shout out to Jamie Williams standing up. Some people are saying to me like, too little, too late. Where was she when I was, you don't know how hard it is for people to do some of these moves, all the peer pressure, all of the pressure that she's getting from the Democrats. And she was brave enough at this time to say, you know what, I don't care what anybody says, I'm going to do what's right. And the reason she can do that is because we're speaking up. It's because we're doing our part. These lawmakers can't do anything without us. They can't. They need us to stand on our shoulders. Otherwise, they end up getting crushed. So again, shout out to Jamie Williams, and people go to Teachers for Choice for all updates on this. Teachers FOR Choice .substack.com. We're updated on Substack every day. And just the last thing I want to throw out there, Tramel, is that there is one bill left that we are worried about this session against medical freedom, and that is the adult mandatory vaccine database bill. What that would do is it would make every vaccine mandatorily reported to the state. So what's important about that is they don't really care about who got the shots. They care about who didn't. And so if they know everybody that got them, de facto, they know everybody that didn't. And that is the database they need to make a statewide vaccine passport. You guys remember that Excelsior Pass? You remember you couldn't eat a slice of pizza. You couldn't go to the library. You remember what they did to New York City. That's something they're still trying to do on the low. So stay tuned to teachersforchoice.substack.com. We are going to have an action for you for phone calls that you can make, emails you can make, and just let your elected officials know you're not down with this bill, follow us on Substack and we'll get all those updates out to you.
I mean, just think about how scary that is, that the state want to let kids possibly get transformation surgeries without their parents' consent. And people is not paying attention to these bills that's happening in Albany and in other states also. But New York, for it to be so-called progressive.
Well, Jamel, they consider that progressive. One of the things that Tony, this rep, was saying to us was that he said, you guys are for informed consent and for having the choice to do what you want to your own bodies. And we said, yeah. He said, we just want to extend that to children. Like, what? What are you talking about? Extend that to children? Bypass the parent? And so in New York, you can't go to a tanning salon if you're not 18 years old. But now you could chop off parts of your body. You could inject yourself with things. You could take psychotropic medication. It's just bonkers. I want to say one thing. People don't know about these bills, Tramel, but that's not always people's fault. This isn't covered in the Daily News and the New York Times. This isn't covered on CBS, NBC. It's not even covered in the Post. I mean, the New York Post didn't even cover this. And sometimes they do some good work and cover some of our stuff. So follow Tramel, Progressive Action, follow Teachers for Choice. You have to be responsible for the news that you take in because they want to just censor all of this out of existence.
Well, thanks for joining me, Mike. Hope to see more of you on my show, man.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. It's good to see you as well, too. Peace, Tramel. We'll talk soon.
All right, cool. Peace.
All right.
That's my brother, Michael Kane. Now, give me a second, man. I got to get these phone lines back popping. I don't know why I cut off, but let me see what's going on here before we get into the rest of the show. Trust me, it's going to get more interesting. Let me see what's going on here. I don't know, my service. Anybody have? I think I got to switch T-Mobile, man. Like, the service has been shot big time. Let me see something. Sometimes I can't even dial out. Let me see what's going on here before I continue the show, because I definitely want to hear from you guys.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN with...
Let me see.
I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN.
This thing is crazy. Let me see something real quick, guys. Give me 1 minute. While y'all paying attention, share out the show. I want to make sure I get these phone lines up. I want to make sure I get these phone lines going. Maybe I need to reset my phone. All right, let me continue the show and let me reset my phone and get it going. All right. I've been talking about this for a long time, man. Let me just put this on the screen for you guys. The rent versus the wages in New York City. Look where the wages is at. Look how the wages are being represented compared to the rent, right? And this is an actual realistic, even though it's like a cartoon, but you guys get the picture. Our wages is not, forget about inflation. Forget about cost of living. Our wages is not keeping up with the rent, right? You look at New York City wages. New York City wages is up 1.2%. New York City rent is up 8.6%. Now, what our sellout union is going to say, TWU Local 100, they're going to say, well, we got raises of 3%, and I think 3.5. It still don't cover that 8.6%. Still doesn't touches that 8.6%, right? Also, rent growth outpaced wages in 44 out of the 50 biggest cities in the United States. Imagine that. Imagine that. I've been telling you guys for a very long time. We are transit refugees. What's a transit refugee? When you can't afford to live in the city in which you work, right? A lot of transit workers cannot live comfortably, especially with a family. In New York City, our wages do not keep up with anything in New York City at this point, right? When you look at when our union play that sleight of hand, oh, FDNY got this, NYPD got that, sanitation got this, corrections got that. You want to know what the difference is? Their base salaries are $100,000. That's a fact. Their base salaries are $100,000. And it's a simple math. 3% on $100,000 is not the same as 3% on $75,000. So if NYPD and FDNY and all these other agencies is getting 3%, we should be getting 4.55%. They confuse you with these percentages. Yes, 3%, 3%. You see that, it looks the same. But 3% on 100,000 is not the same 3% on $75,000. They've been playing y'all for fools this whole entire time. And we fall for it every single time. And it's sad that it happens. It's very sad that it happens. Let me try the phone lines again. Wow. Yeah, let me try the phone lines again. Let me see if I can get that going. Let me see. We got a lot to talk about today. We got a lot to talk about. See, I don't know. Like, if I try to put my phone on Wi-Fi, it doesn't work. But when I take it off of Wi-Fi and I put it on a regular one, that's when it starts to work. But then the service is so bad. They owe me a refund, I think. Let me see.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. The pound.
All right, let me see if it works now.
The PIN you entered does not match the PIN you have on file for your account. Please re-enter your PIN.
That's crazy.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
All right, I should be good. All right. The phone lines is open if y'all want to call in. The phone lines are open. I hope it don't cut off. The phone lines are open. Now, this story right here is going to blow y'all mind a little bit. It's going to blow y'all mind a little bit. Now, y'all know I've been covering a lot of these type of stories, talking about the horses. Lame New York City carriage horse snatched from auction, sent to retirement farm. Tramel, why are we talking about this? If you are a member of Local 100, you should pay attention to what's going on here. Because our union allegedly represents the horse carriage drivers, but they represent them, but they don't represent them because they don't make sure that these carriage horse drivers are good. But this is not what this story is about 100%. We're talking about the horses, and this is going to blow you guys' mind. So just to give you a little insight, Adita Burnkrant, friend of mine, right? She's the executive director of New York Class, right? NY Class, right? And they fight for the horses in the city. You know, these horses they call them lame. That's when they have injuries, they can't walk, things wrong with their legs, they sick and all this other stuff, right? Now, recently, a lame horse was sent to an auction. Right now, Adidas' argument and New York Class's argument is that when they are sent to this auction, that's the place where they're basically being sent to be sold, to be slaughtered for their meat. Like, yeah, people will eat sick horse meat. And this happens in Europe and all this other stuff, right? Now, as you can see in this picture, she spotted it because they had a number on one of they hooves, right? And that's how she knew that it was a horse carriage. But this is the part that's really should be really upsetting to every dues paying member in Local 100. The union hired a PR person. I don't know if Well, she took Pete Donahue's spot, right? And her name is Alina Felicius. She's a spokeswoman for Transport Workers Union, Local 100, which represents the horse carriage drivers and owners, said New York Class. And, you know, it's a whole bunch of craziness with the union. But this is the most disturbing part of these horses. Check this out, y'all. The union is spending our union dues money to buy a property upstate about establishing their own retirement home for these carriage horses. Think about that, guys. I want y'all to think about this. Your union dues don't only go to the union administration or the executive union leadership, girlfriends, boyfriends, whoever they may be. They talking about spending our dues money to buy property upstate so these horses can retire upstate. Picture that. Who did they get permission from to do that? They spending our union dues money whichever way they want to spend it. And it's insane. It's crazy. And I think that we should say something about that. Are you okay with the union taking our dues money to buy property upstate for some horses that we know they don't care about no horses because they don't care about the humans that's on those horse carriages? They don't make sure that they have sick days. They don't make sure that they have vacation. They don't have workers' comp. They don't have bonuses. It's a whole debacle going on over there in the city with those horse carriages. And they want us to think that they go do the right thing by spending our dues money on property upstate for some horses. Look at it. Look, I'm not making this up, guys. I'm not making this up. In addition, we looked at property upstate and have discussions about establishing our own retirement home for our beloved horses, she said. This is insane, people. This is insane. This is why we got to get involved with our union, because they taking our union dues money and doing whatever the hell they want to do with it. It is insane. And speaking of insanity, man, Eric Adams, I think he outdid himself in this video. It's not even funny. Because if anyone else would have said what he said, they probably would have been canceled by today. Right? Now, he wasn't the only one who said some weird, racist, bigoted statement in the media. Kathy Hochul said something, and I covered it on the last show. So just to start this off, let's start off with what Kathy Hochul said before I get into the egregious statement that Eric Adams said. So check it out.
Young black kids growing up in the Bronx who don't even know what the word computer is. They don't know. They don't know these things. And I want the world open up to all of them, because when you have their diverse voices innovating solutions through technology, then you're really addressing society's broader.
Kathy Hochul said, black kids in the Bronx don't know what the word computer is. That was one of the most racist things I've heard lately, probably the most racist thing I ever heard a governor say out of their mouth about black kids in the Bronx. And don't think that this is exclusive to kids in the Bronx. Don't think that. She's talking about black kids all throughout the state. Let's not make no mistake about it. And like I said, she's not alone in this boat when it comes to racist, bigoted statements. Let's listen to what Mayor Eric Adams had to say about migrants crossing the border.
That states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard. That just doesn't make sense. But if we had a plan that say you have a shortage of food service workers and those who fit the criteria, we're going to expedite you. If you have the experience that you are a nurse, which you have a nursing shortage, and we would expedite you. And that's the same with lifeguards. So we have all these eligible people waiting to work with the skills we need to fill the jobs, but we're unable to allow.
Did y'all hear what he said? I'm going to sum it up for you guys. We got all these people crossing the border, coming into the city, coming into the country, and we need lifeguards. And these people that's crossing the border are excellent swimmers. That is wild crazy. That is racist. That is bigoted. It's disrespectful. It doesn't sound like someone who represents everyone in this city. And if the mayor is saying this about Hispanics, how can we expect him to hold someone like Kathy Hochul accountable when she say things like that about black kids? Just in case if you guys missed it, I want to play it again. Check it out.
That states those jobs that we are in high demand, we could expedite. How do we have a large body of people that are in our city and country that are excellent swimmers, and at the same time we need lifeguards? And the only obstacle is that we won't give them the right to work to become a lifeguard. That just doesn't make sense. But if we had a plan that say you have a shortage of food service workers and those who fit the criteria, we're going to expedite you. If you have the experience that you are a nurse, which you have a nursing shortage, and we would expedite you. And that's the same with lifeguards. So we have all these eligible people waiting to work with the skills we need to fill the jobs, but we're unable to allow.
That's wild crazy. That's beyond crazy. I I don't get it. I don't get it. That's wild, crazy. Now, we heard, I'm gonna touch on this in a second. Like I told you, I got a little cold. We heard people leaving the MTA, right? And we go touch on both of the departures. One is denying, the other one is for sure. Patrick Warren, he is now the director at the NTSB, right? And Patrick Warren left the MTA back in April, right? He left back in April. Patrick Warren was responsible for the deaths in COVID. He was 100% responsible for that, right? I don't get how you could suck at a job where you was responsible for the deaths of workers because you didn't implement no safety protocol for the workers. And then you go get a bigger and better job at the NTSB. Patrick Warren have to be one of the worst safety directors there ever was for a transportation agency. And he's rewarded by going to getting another job at the NTSB. This place is bizarre. And like I said, everybody heard about this. If you haven't, well, now you're hearing it. New York City Transit President Richard Davey, who runs subways and buses, leaving MTA. This is the protocol. These guys do 2 years. Get the MTA on their resume, and then go do something else. Right? They implement whatever they go implement, and then they go get to greener pastures and leave us holding the bag. Richard Davey, according to the lawsuits in Boston, is not a good guy. Any man, any leader, any boss who attacks whistleblowers, they're not good people. And Richard Davey didn't do anything to change the culture here. Richard Davey didn't do anything to listen to the members. It was all a hoax. It was all about them acting like they care. Because we know that they truly don't care. Like the old saying goes, action speaks louder than words. Richard Davey's actions says a lot. Says a lot. And from what I understand, the people who works with him, who's around him, are happy that he's leaving. And I can't wait for him to leave because I want to hear what they got to say, what they really got to say. I want to hear what they really have to say. But this is what they do, man. They come to this agency, they piss on us, telling us it's raining. They stay for a couple of years, and then they break out. The only MTA president that was solid was Andy Byford. Byford really cared about the workers. He was genuine. And I could almost guarantee if Byford was here, he would have corralled me in probably. Because he listened. He listened. Richard Davey don't listen. He don't even care. If you're an hourly worker, he don't even care to respond back to you. He don't care. These guys don't care. Byford was just a different breed. And Byford, you could work with him. You could work with him. Let me see what's next before I get to the really, 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 really good stuff. Oh, and under Richard Davey, we had budget cuts, right? Oh, the budget cuts is not going to affect service because let's be clear. Besides them worrying about themselves, the next people they care about is the customers. So they made sure that, you know what, these customers, the service is not going to be affected with these budget cuts. But guess what's going to be affected by these budget cuts? Morale. Why? Because of these budget cuts, we have to work in conditions like this. This is an employee break room where we eat our lunch. Things are not being cleaned. Our working conditions are deplorable. And you want to know what? I don't even care to put the locations of where this is happening at. Why? Tramel, why you don't put the locations of where this is happening at? Because these locations should be checked at minimum 3 times a day. What are these superintendents doing besides writing people up all day? Why aren't they doing facility checks to make sure that the garbage is being pulled, our facilities is clean and disinfected and things of that nature? Why is the superintendent main priority is discipline here in New York City Transit? I need someone to explain that to me. These people do not care about us. You could go to any person office who can make a budget cut decision at 2 Broadway. Their garbages will not look anything close to that. Anything close to that. The employees doing the right thing. They taking their trash and throwing it in the garbage. But the MTA create these budget cuts. Where you supposed to put the garbage at after that? And everyone knows this is not one day worth of garbage. Because I'm not going to say the location. This is not one day worth of garbage. This is multiple days worth of garbage. And these people do not care about us. The union administration, specifically speaking in this situation, RTO subways, they don't care. Right now, they trying to figure out a way how they're going to get reelected. They don't care about us. It's sad. And I want to be clear with Richard Davey and Richard Davis, right? Richard Davis, when Richard Davey leaves officially, don't go online and say, hey, you know, we kicked this behind and we made him get out of here. We did this and we did that. No, because you guys were afraid of Richard Davey. When our brother conductor got sliced in the neck and you guys decided to slow down service, whatever stunt y'all wanted to pull, and Richard Davey or Davey said in the New York Times, they assured me they would never do this again. You ain't say a mumbling word to correct him as a labor president, because you're not a leader. You just got the title. You're a labor president. And just to be clear, titles do not make you a leader. Titles don't make you a leader. Not at all. You are a president because y'all play this game of handing it off, handing it off, handing it off, handing it off. That man told you and told New York City, don't worry, he assured me he would never do this again. Richard Davey is you guys' boogeyman. I'll be damned as a union president. He would talk to me like that. He won't talk to me like that as a conductor. I can assure you that. But when you have cowards leading this union, you're going to have bosses talking like that because that's how men talk to cowards or people they don't respect or people who they feel are beneath them. He assured me he won't do that again. I know y'all probably jumping for joy that y'all heard Richard Davey is leaving. Let me get to the first caller before I get into the spicy stuff. Caller 2550, you now live on Progressive Action TV. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, brother T2? Craig.
What's the word, bro?
How are you? Once again, beautiful broadcast. The question that I have to ask, well, number one, starting off with Miss Kathy Hochul. I do agree with you. That is one of the most horrendous statements that I've ever heard. But short story, even shorter, just to attack that, is if she, and I'm trying to wonder who her advisors is because they need to fire them, whoever her advisors are. But the very thing that she walks around with and her so-called advisors and people that work for her, you're walking around with a so-called phone, right? So to say that these children in the Bronx or Brooklyn or wherever don't know what the word computer is, in your hand is a computer holding capabilities that lets you know that her clue, because we're all walking around with computers.
Bro, you there?
With the mayor, I'm still here, brother.
Yeah. My the service is going in and out, but it's not your phone, it's my phone.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, you need to disconnect, brother?
No, you good. Continue. You heard me? Yeah, he disconnected. He did. Listen, I see people on the phone lines. I don't pick up phone lines that don't have a number. We not doing that. You got to have your number come up on the switchboard, and then I get you in. LaShawn, call back in and get you back plugged in. But let me continue on to the next topic, because how can I forget? Happy belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I put up a nice post for you guys. I hope you've seen it. But when you talk about Richard Davis and narcissism, imagine this. He put out a Happy Mother's Day flyer on a website and then have President Richard Davis, TW Local 100. Let me speak to this guy like a grown man. Let me speak to him. Richie, I know you watch this show. Y'all all do. I want to talk to you like a grown man. Get your head out of your ass. Everything ain't about you. There was nothing wrong with you just saying Happy Mother's Day to the mothers and keeping yourself out the pictures. Actually, just honoring the women and the mothers on the job. You could have honored your officers. Everything do not have to revolve around you. Why can't the women have a day for them? And just to be clear, yeah, everyone knows that you have a lawsuit against you for beating up your ex-girlfriend. You have another lawsuit that I have yet to talk about yet. And you know what I'm talking about. No matter what you do, no matter how non-malicious you make yourself look, or innocent, or surround yourself around women, nothing is going to erase the fact of that lawsuit and that next lawsuit that you have coming, that I heard is way more powerful than that gender-motivated violence lawsuit that you have. And you know it. You know it. And sooner or later, I'm going to talk about it, because it's coming. You heard? Sean, I seen you on the switchboard. Call back, man. But yeah, this guy's crazy, man. I mean, look at this. 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 Nothing that you're going to do is going to make you or paint yourself in a better picture. But hire a PR company. Do something. I told you, remember that time where we spoke for 3 hours and you was telling me, yo, Tramel, man, I got to stay away from the women, man. I just don't know, man. Like, I got to straighten up. You remember that conversation, right? Because I'm not even sure what you thought was coming, but I don't know if you thought that, Nicole Hecker was gonna file a lawsuit against you, your boo of like 7 years. I don't know if you knew that. But I don't know. Maybe you was forecasting something else, but I don't know. Maybe that something else is coming. I don't know. But you know about that second lawsuit I'm talking about, right, buddy? right? That's worse than the first one. Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Sooner than later. Yeah, we'll get to that. Speaking of union reps, PSA. Never shake Secretary Treasurer John Chiarello's hand. This guy's in crew room scratching his ass. Not one hand, but two. Not one hand, but two hands. This is why you cannot shake people's hands. You can't shake these union guy hands, man. They scratching a butt in crew rooms. I mean, these guys is off the hook, man. I mean, their ethics is all over the place. I'm not shaking these guys' hands again. I'm straight doing this. If they get that, I may just hit them with the Jay-Z, head nod. You know what I mean? Or they go get the Jay-Z fist bump. That's it. He ain't shaking these guys' hands. These guys is crazy. These guys is crazy. What else is going on? Oh, for those of you in Quill, beware. They got cameras in the Quill Union office. I know some people say, hey, the cameras, they don't think people don't know the laws. They just come to work, do their jobs, and go home. But this may be a PERB violation against the MTA also, because if the MTA didn't approve these cameras, because the union, this is not their offices, this is the MTA property. This is the MTA property. If they didn't approve these cameras, and these cameras are picking up audio of personal union business or personal business, this may be a violation. So I want y'all to be aware of what's going on. Let me get my brother LaShawn back on. Sean, do you hear me? 1 2 1 2 1 2. Sean. Oh, the phone lines just cut off all together now. I don't know what's going on. But we gonna leave it as that. I don't know why. Let me see if I could turn it on this way.
Welcome to Blog Talk Radio.
Let me see.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
I don't know. Some is up with the system today. I don't know what's going on with the system. But let me continue. Oh, before I get to the juicy stuff, let me just touch on this real quick. These are the administrators and moderators of a group called SAATE. Now, they're supposed to be a Society of African American Transit Employees, supposed to be a black group. I don't know what the hell they got going on over there. But the reason why I decided to post them, because for some strange reason, I started talking about what's going on in buses. And they deleted me from the group. There wasn't nothing going on in there anyway. There's a whole bunch of senior citizen stuff, to be honest with you. And they do not rallies. They do dinners in which a few people call me talking about, how they making money. The union reps is making money off the dinners. It's not going back to the union. It's not going to the depots, and things of that nature. But they deleted me from the group. And what I decided to do, everyone who was on that list, I deleted them out of progressive action. I do not care. There's no way possible you kick me out of your group and you expect me to keep you in mine. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that at all. Now, I want to upload this video real quick before I get into a text that was sent to me that I'm going to read to you guys. So let me upload this video real quick. Let me upload this video. Let me see. It'll take a little second to upload. So bear with me. bear with me. I'm so mad the phone lines are I don't know what's up with the phone lines, man. My service. I think I'm gonna have to just go to Verizon, man. I'm gonna have to go to Verizon. The phone service over here sucks. Big time. I'm gonna have to go to Verizon. All right. Like I said, if you're watching right now, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Definitely on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Make sure to like the video. Let me tell you something about these union reps. They hate to see 100 likes on these videos because they just hate it. They just hate us. They just hate us. They just hate us. Let me just get this video uploaded because before I get into the real juicy stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's the internet. I don't know what's going on over here. But the service of where I'm at is real bad for T-Mobile. All right.
Good morning.
Matter of fact, before I play that, let me preface it. These reps, specifically speaking, Donald Yates, Richie Davis, and a few other they henchmen in Mabstoa. Oh, Trammell is a liar. Don't watch the show. He don't know what he's talking about. You know what it remind me of? It remind me of the hating dude who's speaking to the girl that he likes, but the girl doesn't like him. And he's telling her, hey, don't mess with him because, you know, he got a lot of girls. You know, he's not cool. He's not this. He's not that. What it actually does to that woman is that it piques her interest. Like, damn, why are you hating on him so much? So what end up happening is that girl end up checking out that guy. More than likely, they end up together, right? Now, this is the issue. This is the issue. They tell people not to watch the show, right? More people watch the show. They actually do more promoting of the show than I do. Because when I'm off of this, I don't really talk about the show, right? They claim that I'm lying, I'm this and I'm that. But Donald Yates just put out a post saying that Mabstoa is under attack. How can you be under attack from lies? The only thing that could penetrate your armor is the truth. Let's listen to what Donald Yates had to say.
Good morning. Donald Yates checking in at Gun Hill Depot. Let me first start off by saying that it's very unfortunate that people want to focus and target Mabstoa and put us in the limelight as if we're bad citizens, that folks prey on other folks around here. It's an absolute false and a description of it's a narrative that is just totally false and terrible to say about your union. Now, in every walk of life, there is some good and there's some bad, right? Just like when you talk about the police, there's some good police officers and there's some bad police officers. But one thing I want to make clear: every union officer who comes into work and work in this system, the transit system, we come here with good intentions, and we come in here to work and fight for our people. Now, obviously, while we fight for our people, we have to be involved in politics and elections. And with being involved in politics and elections comes mudslinging and saying inappropriate things, right? Inappropriate things that can affect people's lives, livelihoods, even their status with their marriages and so on and so forth. But I'm here at Gun Hill today because I'm here to support Gun Hill. And I'm here to put it out here. I'm talking to these people in here. What they're trying to say about this depot is an absolute false. Get your facts straight.
He kind of like confused me in that statement. Oh, you know, reps come here with good intentions. So right there, he's saying that there's some things that go on, right? Now, what I don't like what they doing, and you want to know what? I'm going to let y'all guys know. I'm having 3 new guests on the show. One is going to be returning. Yes, Miss Harris is going to come back on the show. She's going to come back on the show. And I got 2 other women it's going to be all women coming on the show to talk about their experiences, to talk about when they was dating reps, how the reps made sure, and you know what dating means. Dating means, you know, they doing everything. They was making money. They was getting favorable runs. Donald Yates, are you saying that doesn't exist? Are you saying that doesn't exist? And guess what? You're not the arbiter of truth. You're not. You're the same guy in 2015 that got caught forging over 200 signatures in the election. So we don't want to hear anything that you have to say. You're not a trustworthy guy. You're the same guy that went online. Let me see if I'm even gonna see if I can find it. You're the same guy that went on live and told management that some of your members go out on workers' comp, some for good reasons, some because they simply don't want to drive a bus. You said that, Donald Yates. Mabstoa should have went under attack from you saying that alone, and that came out of your mouth. Everyone knows it's not a secret. I don't know why y'all think that it's a secret. I don't know why y'all trying to politicize this. This has nothing to do with elections. This has everything to do how you guys carry yourself ethically. And I want to make this clear. I don't care who's having sex with who. What I care about is members' seniority being violated because of these horny ass reps that's in Mabstoa. If you want to trick money on your side piece or you having sex with somebody else's wife, that's your business. If you want to go have dinner, lunch, breakfast with somebody else's woman in the depot, that's your business. But when you start being a lame, a cornball, and you start violating people's seniority because you don't know how to really treat a woman, then it's everybody's business. I don't care who y'all have sex with. If you could be doing whatever you want to do with whoever you want. But when you start violating member seniority, and for y'all to even want to defend that, shame on you. Shame on you. Nobody's over here saying, well, you know, this rep is having sex with this woman and he bought her a $10,000 Chanel bag. Nobody talking about that. That's y'all business. But when y'all become so horny and so desperate to start violating seniority, because 10 times out of 10, y'all can't get women outside of y'all title, outside of y'all job. This is a fact. Because if I was a division chair, if I was a VP, or if I was a president, I would not be preying on the women who come to the job who don't know any better. That type of predatory behavior is sick when you think about it. Think about why people prey on children because they don't know no better. Why these reps are not messing with women who got time on the job? Why are the women who's coming forward are all speaking from a probationary standpoint or 1, 2, 3 years on the job when they still getting their feet wet on the job? That's sick. That is sick. If I'm a vice president, I'm going to mess with another vice president or better. If I'm a president, I'm going to mess with the president or better of another company. But you guys do the opposite. Y'all get these titles, and then y'all go for the newbies. And you know what's so sick about it? Is that seniority, time on the job is everything to you guys. Oh, I got more time on the toilet than you got working on the job. Everything on this job, when y'all want to brag, when y'all want to stick puff out y'all chest, the first thing y'all point to is how much time somebody got on the job. Y'all see how these dots are connecting? Do y'all see how these dots are connecting? These males, they not men, because men don't move that way. These males are sick. And you know another thing that they sick about? That me as a conductor, no union title, never held a union title ever since being here, got more power and influence than they ever will have. Ever. But think about this. Why do they only go after the new women who come on the job? They basically are groomers. And I'm not talking about all of them. They know who they are. These guys sit there and groom these women. And guess what, Donald Yates? I love when you go online, because every time you go online and say some stupidity, you piss somebody off. And like I said, women are going to start coming forward. They're going to start coming forward. I got 2 new ones lined up right now. So all of that, it's lies, is that, not only are y'all violating people's seniority because y'all want to sleep with women, but y'all preying on them. Y'all preying on these women. And it boggles my mind with the men. Yo, he never did that to me. Sir, do you have a vagina? Do you have a vagina? Are you bisexual? Of course not. Of course not. Oh, he was fair to me. What did you do for him? Did you bring him a bottle of liquor? I ain't even put out all the audios I got. And yo, there's so many. It's easy to influence people on this job because they don't have a price. It's not that you can't meet their price. It's that their price is so low, right? And then you got 2 sets of women on this job. I'm not mad at the women. If you feel like that you got to have sex to get what you want, then that's on you. That's how you want to live your life. I'm not here to judge you. But then you have another group of women who don't move like that. And the women who do feel like they'll give up sex to get what they want, make it harder for the women who don't live their life like that. And I've been doing a lot of talking with them lately too. There's women who respect themselves. I'm not saying that the women who do what they got to do, use their women, use their, you know what I mean? Use their woman to get what they want. I'm not mad at that. But the men, the elected reps, where's y'all ethics at? Where's your morals? Where is it? Because y'all doing this in the name of violating seniority. Like I said, if y'all want to go I don't care who y'all have sex with. If y'all want to go there and have sex and do that and buy them bags and take them to nice dinners, give them, what they call that? Give them a stimulus package, send them on a trip. That's fine. That's your business. But when y'all start playing with people's seniority, it's all of our business. Because if the union is violating seniority, who can you turn to get it back in check? Now, the union know better because it's these 4 letters that they're afraid of. It's called PERB, Public Employees Relations Board. They can get sued through PERB. And I have the documents to show that y'all been violating people's seniority, and management is in play with this. Let's make no mistake about it. But I want to read off this anonymous text that I got. Thanks for bringing these topics to light. I'm sure everyone has a story to tell. Most want to be anonymous for the obvious reasons. You should investigate Mother Clara Hell. I worked for TA for 30 years, retired. I blocked that out because I don't want them to identify no part of who this person is. For 25 of the 30 years, blah, 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 blah. Went to work at Mother Clara Hell. Oh my God, never in all my years had I seen such blatant disregard for a person's seniority as I did working at Mother Clara Hell. They didn't even try to hide it. Right in your face. It's like they almost dared you to say something. I complained about something, can't remember exactly what, but I do remember that Rios told me, I run this depot. If you don't like it, then pick out. I laughed because he couldn't really, go to the next slide. I laughed because he couldn't really do anything to me. I had enough seniority that I could pick my work, pick any vacation or holiday that I wanted, and he hated that. Not to mention that I had FMLA for my child and myself. So I pretty much did whatever I wanted to do. Went over his head a few times to the boss. Since I had a good record, he couldn't do anything. The chairman, Rios, is a leech. He had an ongoing affair with a female operator whose husband was a shifter at Mother Clara Hell. The husband found out, all hell broke loose. Punches were thrown and even police were called. As far as I know, no discipline was given to either one. She was also given a drill trick that she couldn't pick because she had no seniority. She would bring Rios food and would sit in the union office when she was supposed to be shifting. This went on for a long time. She picked out and her husband retired, and a few years later, and now she picked back at MCH. If it had not involved the chairman, if it had not involved the chairman, all parties would have been severely disciplined, maybe even fired. Her name is blank and her husband's name is blank. Also, Secretary Jose Andrade has had multiple affairs with different women. Most notable is during COVID. His girlfriend, an operator, with less than 2 years on the job, was given the COVID cleaning position, which made her lots of money and had lots of perks. Ordinarily, those cushy jobs were given to senior operators. Even dispatchers and superintendents have affairs with subordinates. And of course, all of the perks that come with it. It's truly sad. We all know that these things happen and will continue to happen as long as men and women work together. Doesn't make it right. I feel sorry for anyone going through the BS. Yates, is that a lie? And speaking of Rios, let me make sure. Let me make sure before I say this. Let me go inside my messages. Let me go inside my messages. What is this lady's name? Let me see. Oh yeah. Speaking of foolishness, Donald Yates, you are an idiot. Facts. So Rio's baby mother, Wyetta Robinson Oquendo, contacted me and she told me a little story that she actually posted this on the page too, that when Rios had to go to child support, Donald Yates went down to the courthouse and pretended like he was Rios' lawyer. Actually told the bailiff or the court that he is Rios' lawyer and made them both look like fools. They actually told Donald Yates, get out of here. Imagine that. This is how much of an idiot Donald Yates is. Now, like I said, everybody is not lying. And I ain't gonna lie, I asked Juanetta, you want to do an interview? She was like, she's living her life happily in Texas right now. She's living her life, right? But she commented on the page and then she spoke to me about some stuff behind the scenes. This stuff is happening. This is the fact. No matter how much they try to spin it, and this is, they got to understand the psychology of how people think. If you sit there and deny it, there's obviously people upset. Whenever you deny it and you go on social media, you make them look like they're a fool. You make them look like they're lying. And guess what they do? Tramel, I'm ready to do an interview. Tramel, here go this information. Tramel, I'm gonna send you a voice note over to explain some things about how it's working. Right? I'm speaking to women who were on a job. I'm speaking to women who are on a job right now. I'm speaking to retired women. The easiest thing for you guys to say is it's a lie. No, it's not a lie. Everyone, this is the if this was a secret, this is one of the worst secrets ever. And if you notice, right? Now I've heard somebody come to me and say, one person in the TA depot, in Fresh Pond Depot, what's his name? Armstrong. Oh, Armstrong, blah, 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 blah. I ain't gonna say what they said, right? But the reason why so many Mabstoa people is coming to me is because the union controls everything. They control seniority. They really don't control seniority. They control AVAs, they control vacations, they control days off, they control overtime and who's going to get these special jobs and things of that nature. They control that, right? And when you control that, you control the members. And in turn, when you control those things, you control democracy also. Because if someone tries to run against you, right, especially a newcomer, someone who's new on the job who want to get their feet wet, as soon as they try to make a move against you, it's an adverse effect against them. Just like how, let me see if I could put that back on the screen. Let me see if I could see what this person said. Let me see if it's in this part right here. I don't see it here. Hold on one second. Let me check the last one. Dag, I can't find it. Let me see. I know I've seen it. Oh, it's right there at the top. Thanks for bringing these topics to light. I'm sure everyone has a story to tell. Most want to be anonymous for obvious reasons. We know what those obvious reasons are. It's called retaliation. Plain and simple. That's why I am going to do everything I'm going to do to keep them anonymous. Because when things hit the fan, then things is going to hit the fan, and y'all know what I'm talking about. But these people, these union officers, I'm gonna say it, I'm gonna make it clear again. I don't care who y'all having sex with. I don't care about that. But when you are using your position to have sex with these women and in turn violate other people's seniority, women's seniority who don't want to give y'all no sex, men who y'all not into, I say that. I mean, I did hear somebody say one thing about some funny business going on, but I ain't gonna touch on that. But I don't care. I don't care. But when members come to me and say that they tired of this, they tired of that, and they seniority, they can't get this, they can't get that, it's everybody business. It's everybody business. You want to have sex with other people, girlfriends, they wives, this and that, that's your business. Just don't violate seniority in the process, and we won't have no problem. That's that. That's that. Now, this is one of the biggest scandals Mabstoa has ever faced. One of the biggest scandals Mabstoa has ever faced. And it's ugly. It's predatory. I just can't get out of my mind. They target the new women who come onto the job, the fresh meat, the newbies. I have more time on the toilet than you have driving your bus. Y'all still picking. Yeah. Those the people that y'all target. And from what I understand also is that this is how the scam works between management and the union. Is that when you look at the pick board, all the jobs are not on the pick board, right? And from what I understand, the people peg numbers are not on the pick board either. So you don't know if the person picked in front of you has more seniority than you because they peg number is not up there. From what I understand, I don't know. I never seen a bus operator pick board, but somebody could probably explain it to me better, right? But this is how the scam works. Before the jobs are put on a pick board, the predators between management and the union get together and say, hey, we go put, say, 20 jobs is not going to make it to the pick board. We're going to hold off on these jobs. We're not going to put them on the pick board. We go fill them in as needed. And what they do, especially the men, is that they give these jobs to their girlfriends and to the women that they having sex with. And, you know, some men reap the benefits of this, of it too. Men who they probably like, and not in that way that they think is cool, they homeboys and stuff like that. People who probably hold pom-poms for them and defend them and things like that. Yeah. But the scam is all the jobs don't make it to the pick board. The jobs are held, let's say, to the side. People pick. They don't know these jobs exist, but these jobs are being filled by their lovers, their friends, and sex buddies. This is another way how they violate seniority. Man, picture that. Picture that. Picture you making it to the big time and you target new people on the job. It's sickening, man. And like I said, I don't see no difference between why some grown men target young kids. Why are the union reps targeting women who basically need them and can't pick what they want. Targeting new women. Women who may have kids and need certain days off and things of that nature. Why? It's sickening. It's sickening, and it's to the point where it's super embarrassing to say that we are members of Local 100. They talking about taking our union dues money, buying land upstate to put horses up there. You know what they could do with that money? They could release more reps. They could put more resources in fighting for us for better contracts. They could put that money into some type of a fund. But to protect their best interests, they would go beyond the call of duty to do that. And it's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing. I would like to give a shout out to, let me see. I'd like to give a shout out to my boy Edward Acosta. Sent in a Cash App. If you guys want to donate via Cash App, you could donate. You see it at the top of the screen, $ Progressive Action 100. I'm sorry about the phone lines. I think I have to change service. The service was messed up today. I don't know why, but yeah, probably I need to change service or whatever the case is. But thanks. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. I don't care which platform you were watching on. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure, definitely Mabstoa. If you're watching in Mabstoa, share out this video. Let them see it. Let the workers be the judge for themselves. And shout out to everyone who's standing on business, who's not creeps, who's not union. Shout out to those union reps who's not using their position to be predatory on women. I hear that there's a rep out there. I don't know his name. I think Spencer or something like that. I think a couple of people spoke highly of him, how this person is fair, this and that. So shout out to him. Shout out to all the reps who's standing on real business, who's doing the job, who's putting the members first for real and not putting sex first, because this is what it is. This administration is the sex administration. As what it say? It's sex driven, whatever it is. This is the sex administration, and it's led by King lawsuit himself, Richard Davis. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.